Welcome back to Bomberos on Fire podcast. My name is Armando. You call me Mando, whatever you guys feel like it. Before we start with a unique guest over here today, I want to say, guys, thank you for following me. Thank you for keeping with this. I know it's been a while since the last episode. It's just been busy traveling to China, Belgium, and all those places. Yeah, I'll talk about it later. And thank you so much. If you don't mind to share, like, subscribe, all the little things show up on the screen somewhere around there. Perfect. Now, today we got a really special guest. Really got my attention. Dr. Monique, welcome to Bomberos on Fire podcast. This is a pleasure for me, and I'm excited to talk to you about this subject, about mental health in adult entertainment business or that field. Now, thank you so much for being here. If you don't mind, introduce yourself to see who you are, what you do, and we can start from there.
Yeah. Well, my name is Dr. Monique Martinez Quiroz, but it's real hard for people to say my last names, and instead of them fucking it up, I just tell them call me Dr. Monique, and that's what it works.
All right. Perfect.
So I go by Dr. Monique, and I have a private practice. I'm based in Las Vegas, Nevada, so that's helpful. But I'm licensed in Nevada, Florida, Wisconsin, and Arizona. To provide mental health therapy, and then I provide consultation and coaching all around the world in English and in Spanish for primarily those in the adult industry. And
Nice.
that's everyone from so people that do like content creation, so like OnlyFans, any of the platforms, Chatterbait, StreamMate, like the pornography component also, to in-person sex work because I live in Las Vegas. I'm about an hour away from Cabron, where we have 2 legal brothels or 3 legal brothels. So I'm able to go in there and work with those women. So full service sex work, even full service sex work, kind of the ones that don't work for anything and kind of just work for themselves. So like high-end escorting, stuff like that. And then my favorite of all time is working with the exotic dancers, so the girls that dance in the gentleman clubs.
Yeah, wow, that is really impressive, and I think thank you for your work because I think are few in the world that actually dedicate themselves to help in the adult industry. I don't think there's that many, right?
Yeah, I'd say there's a lot. There's a lot of people with interest in it, but it's hard for them to look at it in an objective perspective and not want to take them out of that situation. Like there's a lot of rescuers in the world, como like they try to save you, and that's not what they need. They need someone who can hold space with them and help them feel accountable without making them feel bad about what they're doing.
Yeah, which is really hard. And what makes you go from be specific in that field? What like attract you from that?
So I'm originally from a city called Tucson, Arizona. So it's about, 2 hours south of, I guess, 2 hours south of Phoenix, Arizona. So it's close to the Mexican border. I was born and raised there. And a group of my friends to this day are exotic dancers. And I used to be really heavy. And even at my heaviest, these girls would not allow anybody to be mean to me, whether it was there in the club or if we would go out to dinner, if we would go out to eat. They would get people thrown out, even if it wasn't like their club. Like we would go out to a club and somebody would say a rude comment to me or security would say something and they would go straight to their contact, which was typically a manager, and be like, hey, this is what happened. And the best way I could figure out, was giving back would be to provide a safe space for them.
Yeah, and you're doing it. And for how long you been doing this?
Well, here in Vegas for 5 years, and then in Arizona, so I've been practicing for about 15 years total. So for about, I'd say, at least 13 of those 15 years, I've been working to some capacity in the adult industry.
Wow, that's impressive.
Yeah.
And that's really impressive. And I also you told Commander you also worldwide. You also take care of people, and I think it's a few of your kind in Spanish. So yeah. I don't think that many because Spanish culture is completely close-minded to this
Yeah.
field.
Super close. I
So
mean,
how do you?
to both fields, to both, sex work and counseling.
Yes,
Lo
yes.
que pasa en la casa se queda en la casa.
I
That's,
see.
what happens at home stays at home. You say it
Yeah,
out loud to anybody, and oh my God, it's
yeah,
fucking
yeah.
World
Because
War
I'm.
Three.
Yeah, I know. Because I'm from freaking Venezuela, and you know how it is. If I'm not allowed to be depressed, I'm not allowed to be anxious.
No.
Mira, mijo, vete para allá, vamos,
Yeah.
vete a jugar. That's it.
Yeah.
That's how you cure. That's how you treat your depression and anxiety. Just get out of the house or stay in the room. But you're
Yeah.
not allowed to express yourself. And I'm
No.
still dealing with that. I got two girls, Mary, and I'm in the firefighter field, military police firefighter. I'm used to keep going, kind of like hold your emotion for a second to deal with the situation. And it's hard for me to sometimes when my little girls, cry and stuff because I don't have that in my brain yet. But I'm
Yeah.
getting there. I'm getting there. It's not easy
Yeah.
at all.
No, I get it. I have daughters too, and my husband was outnumbered in the house,
Yeah,
and
I know the
then we got
feeling.
a male dog, so now he's fine.
Oh,
Even so, I mean, our youngest one just turned 11 last week, and he's
wow.
still learning. And he's Guamanian, so he's Chamorro and Mexicano. So he has like dual, and then you guys are men, so it's hard. Like there's so many things already against you. But
Yes,
I'm
it
glad
is.
you're showing up for your daughters. All you got to do is show up and be vulnerable and be safe, and that's all they
Yeah,
need.
that's all they need. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So let's say I'm in Florida, right? How I can contact you? Hey, I do OnlyFans, I do content, I do whatever. How I can
Yeah,
contact you?
so I have usually IG is where I get a lot of clients from. Like they look at. I don't post a lot of content. I'm not good at that. But I'll repost a lot of things. And I do engage in conversations. But they can find me on IG. They can just Google Dr. Monique Las Vegas, and I pop up. My business is Key Rose, like KEYROSE LLC. Um, and that's the way I show people how to pronounce my last name, Quiros. Quiros.
Kiros.
So, yeah, so it's easy for them to find me. So yeah, if they're anywhere, they can just message me. If I'm licensed in their state, it's easier to connect with them. If I'm not, then we go through like a coaching agreement, which is different than therapy. Um, and if they want somebody like a therapist they can see in person in their state, I can connect them with somebody that I know. I have lots of colleagues all across the world. Um, Depending on whether they're like an online sex worker or an in-person sex worker, I can even connect them with different organizations that will help pay for some of their therapy.
Oh, wow. That is awesome. That's good information. And don't worry, I'll put your links and everything on the description. Some people can actually, hopefully, look into you and, or like you said, at least guide into the right person. Because sometimes I learn that therapist is maybe my therapist, but somebody who might match with
Yeah,
me. Because we're all
yeah,
different.
yeah. I have this shirt that I used to wear, and sometimes I still wear it, and it says I'm not for everyone. And I would wear it on like the first time I met someone, like for a client, because at the end of the day, therapy is so intimate and very new to a lot of people, especially
Yes.
people in the adult industry or people who have generational curses like us, right? It doesn't
Oh my
matter.
God. Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
Mexican, you're from Venezuela, you said. So it doesn't matter. All Latinos, I would say for the most part, are pretty much the same.
Yep.
Um,
Yep.
when it comes to stigmas and stuff like that. And when you meet a therapist, like you said, I'm not the best fit for everyone. I know for sure that I'm not. I'm very out of the box. Kind of what you see me here is what you get.
I
I
love it.
talk a lot with my hands. I usually have really long, beautiful nails, but I took them off because they needed a break. I cuss a lot. I
Eh,
keep it real.
Me too.
So I'm not for everyone. And it's super
Exactly.
important for people to find the person that's good for them.
Yeah, but you keep it real, and that's why I
Yeah.
attract. That's why, like, I need to talk to you because you keep it real. The little things that I see online is like, this is awesome. I wanna spread the word and hopefully help people. Because
Thank you. Yeah.
that's the main goal for me. I started this podcast almost 3 years ago, almost because a lot of suicide on the fire service,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
to me,
All helping services.
yeah, one way to like express whatever I was feeling because I knew one of the guys a little bit. It's just to talk to people. So that's how I started, and then took me random places from Poland to. I also teach stuff, but I've been in
Yeah.
China, Belgium, and I talk about mental health, and they don't know what is that. They don't even.
Yeah.
A mental health coach for them is a beer.
Yeah. Yeah. A beer or some other vice, or even working out too much. Like I tell people all the time, too much of anything is bad. Too much water will kill you. So it doesn't necessarily have to be beer or drugs or something crazy, but too much of something is bad.
It's bad. Yeah, and you mentioned about the Colombian. You have a lot of Colombian clients. So
Um,
how that
I
even?
don't have so many Colombian clients, but I work with an organization called Pineapple Support, and they provide
Oh,
online support for sex workers, and they have a staff of about, I think, 5 psychologists through a CAM studio in Colombia,
okay.
and so I have
Wow.
some interactions with them and provide some trainings with them, so we can make sure we're all kind of doing the same thing
Yeah.
and going about things the same way.
Yeah. And
Hmm.
wow, that's pretty cool. That is actually thoughtful from Colombia, because coming from South America, that's not like you said. We talk. It's a stigma. It's a no no. Like, mira,
Yeah.
mira, eso no se habla ya. Mija, vaya a trabajar. That's it.
Ve limpia algo.
Ve
That's what my
limpia
mom
algo.
would tell me when I was little.
Mira, mija, ve limpia algo. Y I don't want to know how you clean it up. Just do it. Yeah, no, it is impressive. How do you? Because it's hard for a normal person to talk about mental health. How do you break, or how do you make those people in the adult industry open to you? It is because as a firefighter, I know it's hard for us to open to somebody else because we already different mentality. I can't even imagine how you transition that tools to the adult industry. How do you? What do you want to techniques, or how do you approach somebody like that?
Yeah. For me, I think it helps because I don't, um, a lot of people come into therapy and they assume they're going to do this, right? I'm going to go sit in front of somebody and they're going to be like this. Like, I'm not that bitch. I don't sit with the thing. I sit right in front of you or right here on the screen. When I show up and I let them know a little bit about myself. The only difference between me and a client is that I'm on one side of the screen, they're on the other, or I'm on one side of the chair and they're on the other side of the chair.
Exactly.
They're on the couch, they say, on that side of the couch. At the end of the day, we're all the same. We put our pants on one leg at a time and go about the day and hope
Yeah.
the day goes good.
Yeah. Hope for the
But
best, right?
for me, yeah, I just, tell them a little bit about myself. Um, Tell them what I've been through in life and how I became a therapist and why I became a therapist. And usually from there, they set it off and they just like relax and they're cool and they're like, okay, this isn't what I thought it was. Because I think people think I'm going to go to therapy and they immediately picture this, right? You don't think it's going to be like this, like a conversation. You think, oh, fuck, someone's going to sit here and judge me,
Yeah.
write down whatever they think is going on their little paper, and I'm not going to know what they're thinking.
Yeah. No, yeah, it's true though. And especially in the adult industry, there are people too. I mean, they got
Yeah,
jobs, they got kids, they got family, they have bills to pay. They just, instead of like picking up the phone and doing a computer or putting a house fire down, they're stripping or dancing or doing something to make money.
yeah, yeah,
That's the
just
way
to
I see it.
survive. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
that's the way I
mean,
see it.
sex work definitely is work, and it's equally as hard as a lot of other jobs. I'd say sometimes it's even harder, especially like for dancers. Dancers deal with rejection. Like every time a client walks through the damn door, I think most people have been to a gentleman's club. You walk in, and some dancers are right there, kind of lined up already, and some are not. And either way, they come up to you eventually and say, "Hey, do you want to dance, or do you want this, or do you want that?" And depending on the day, depending on that client, depending on the dancer, they typically get a no.
Yeah,
Well, just like imagine dealing with that rejection
over and
day
over.
after day, shift after shift, and
Yeah, and you
then
need to make money out of it too. So
they,
you seem desperate because you say no. That means no money for me.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Do they have any like help inside the clubs? Like somebody who say, "Hey, girl, that's fine. Don't worry. Just keep going. Keep moving forward. Push through."
I would say not so much someone that's like designated, but a lot of times dancers, depending on like club management, um, there's different like vibes amongst the dancers themselves. Um, so maybe, but it's not like, oh, hey, we have this one person right here. If you're having a tough time, come and talk to them. It's not like that.
Okay. Yeah. That's we're talking about dancers. I'm not talking about the escorts. They had the famous pimps. That's
Yeah,
that's a
yeah,
whole different ball game. I can't even
yeah.
imagine
Yeah,
because
that's a
for
whole different predatory thing.
yeah, and I guess you help those people to at least guiding through that process to remove themselves from that and be independent. I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, and typically it's like remove themselves from being sex trafficked. A lot of times um individuals that are sex trafficked, both men and women, that are forced into sex work, um want to stay in sex work. They just don't want to stay under the guidance of, or forced guidance of like a pimp or somebody else like their trafficker. And that's okay. And that takes a special mindset. And so there's an organization called the Cupcake Girls. It's their headquarters is here in Las Vegas, and then one in Portland, Oregon, I believe. I always get it confused. I believe it's Portland, Oregon, though. And
Oregon. That's
they
weird.
provide, yeah, they provide services also for adult sex workers and adult sex trafficking survivors. So whether they want to stay in sex work or not, they still provide services for them. And if they do, then they provide them a safe way to get away from their trafficker, so they can do things more
Safe.
more safely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's basically as it is. And since you've been in the on that field for almost 15 years or more than 15 years, what is the big change you've seen it from when you started to now? Besides OnlyFans, obviously.
Um, I would say that it's just more openly discussed. I think it's always been there. I mean, they even have like concubines in the Bible. So, like, sex work has always been around since the existence of time. But now, especially post COVID, now it's everywhere. It's on your social media. I know it's on my social media feed all the time because this is what I do. But it's everywhere. You can open, an app on your phone and see an ad or something, and then go back to Google or to Safari, and something's going to come up about, the adult industry, whether it's something that you directly looked at or not. So I think it's just, there's a part of the stigma that is gone, in that it's more to the surface. So it's not so much like underground. It's still to some degree is like taboo, like it still has that stigma, but not as bad as it did before, which I think is great because then it gives opportunity for people to have, open
Conversation.
dialogue.
Yeah. Oh, I agree. I agree. The only way to fix a problem or to, make it easy for everybody is just talking about it. Even if
Mm-hmm.
we disagree some of the points, you need to talk about it. That's the only way to
Yeah.
make it happen, to make a change, improvement change. And another thing, do you have a lot of male clients? Because I'm thinking about it, like that's I get the girls, dancers, and all that, but male clients, I don't know. Do you have a lot of male clients or approach to you or?
Yeah, I don't work with any male dancers, but in the on like the content creation side, I personally don't have a lot of male clients, but there are a lot of male clients. It's a pretty, I would say there's still probably more women than there is men,
Yeah, yeah,
but there's a pretty good, I guess, representation, like amount of male talent.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Because as like the adult industry is a female oriented. That's female is dominant right there, no question asked. So, but guys also suffer from rejection and all those stuff that the girls go through. I have a friend who used to be a exotic dancer back in the day in the 80s, I think so. Yeah, back in the day, because now he's old and everything hurts. But he told me that back in the day was insane. Like the stuff they did, like the parties they went, and he said they have to go through some type of help to, remove himself from that field and become something else and transform. And it takes time. That's what he said to me. Like it takes a lot of time, and he actually was glad that I was talking to people in the industry just to put a bright light into that and say, hey, this is not bad. It's just another profession. It's just different.
Yeah, I definitely think that's true for all. Um, Everyone across the adult industry scope is this person, like the dancer, or this. It's a persona. It's this porn star, or this OnlyFans person, or this other you know streaming person that you're in love with, or this person that you're infatuated with. You're infatuated with that persona. They like literally get up that day and put on a whole new thing. When they come and see me, I don't even know who they are. Like, I know who they are, and then I go to the different events that I represent mental health at, and they'll come up to me, Dr. Monique, how are you? I'm like, I don't know who you are. Who are you? And then they'll tell me, oh, I'm like, oh shit, I'm not used to seeing you all in your persona. And so, like what your friend was saying, it sounds to me like he had to embrace and kind of live this persona for so long, and then being able to have to transition out. It definitely is hard. And there's actually people that are familiar with adult industry work, or that were previous adult performers, or worked as dancers and whatnot, that have gone through the transition themselves, and they provide coaching and consultation services like that for people that are looking to kind of pivot or diversify their incomes to more like vanilla mainstream jobs.
Yeah, something more like common,
Yeah.
9 to 5 office job. They'll drive you insane because I can't work that shit. I just can't be in the office. I don't know how you do it, girl.
Get it.
I don't know how you do
Well,
it.
that's part of the reason why I work for myself. I have a very flexible schedule, and my office is just me. It's just me by myself.
You make your own office. Put it that way. That's awesome. Yeah, it is. It is. Do the people suffer a lot of like different personalities problems, or like depression, that aspect? Because you are one person on stage, and then you get out stage or the camera, and then you're a completely different person. Do you see that a lot on the performers or the talent?
Yeah, but it's not so much like a personality disorder or like a split personality. It's just like they're going into the role, kind of like you. You're not a firefighter. You don't work in that scope 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It's on when it needs to be on. And that's the same with them. It's on when it needs to be on. But I think a lot of people, especially people that maybe are new into the industry, want to like embody it so much that it's hard for them to turn it off. So then they feel like they always have to be on, or be like on camera, so to speak. Like that they always have to be that persona. And then eventually they do lose themselves in that, and they have to be railed back. As far as like depression and anxiety, or one of the most common questions I get asked in person and on podcasts is, what are the different things that, or is it different? The diagnosis is from vanilla clients, so non-sex worker clients, and sex worker clients. No, It's the same. It's the same thing. Yeah, everyone that I've met has some kind of depression or anxiety, or has had it for a long time, and they learned how to put it in a little cajita and talk about it only when they needed to, or when it consumed them and they broke down. I would say the same amount of drugs happens in a vanilla job as it does in a different job.
Really?
Family issues, divorce, custody issues, acculturation, like being able to fit in, having imposter syndrome. I don't know about you in your field, but I know me in my field as a therapist, sometimes I start to question, fuck, do I even have the qualifications to do this? And then I have to remember, I'm a bad bitch. I got lots of letters behind my name and a lot of student loan debt to prove that I do know what I learned.
Yeah, girl, I got the same problem. Trust me, I have the same problem when I go over outside the States and teach Mayday survival, which what I specialize in. My company called Fire Rescue Group, and I teach how a firefighter can save themselves out of a problem. Because we cannot, nothing is perfect in life, especially on a fire, and how to create teams that rescue that down firefighter, which is completely different procedures than rescuing a civilian or somebody in the building. Because we got the the SCBA pack, the helmet, and all the equipment
Yeah,
that
you have
weights.
yeah.
That shit is 70 pounds extra. So I'm 250. Putting that crap on me, I'm 3 something, and I'm not the biggest one in the world. So, and that's just in the U.S. So yeah, sometimes I feel like, did I know me shit, or was just making shit up in the air? And like you
Yeah.
said, I started looking back. Oh, I took this class. My class is accredited. I got this and that. I got validation from people that say, "Hey, you're doing a good job. Thank you for doing this." Especially outside the U.S. because that is a foreign concept. If as a firefighter I'm going inside the building, I get fired and I get injured, good luck, buddy. Bring the band, family, take pictures because that's it. They won't.
Yeah.
It's a foreign concept. So to me, it's breaking that barrier first, and then selling an idea that you need somebody to help you out, even you if you're a firefighter. But yeah, I know that imposter syndrome very well, and I just keep my head down and keep working. That's all I can do, and my work will speak more than my words. So I do what I can to make it happen.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. It's like the same problems, same issues that come up. Um, there's nothing too different between like a regular therapy session and one that has like someone in the adult industry.
Yeah, it's just they're fit, way
Yeah.
fitter than the
But not
normal
even
person.
that. I think that too is like a misconception.
Really?
There's a kink for everyone,
Well, that's true too.
and some, there's a big market out there for the BBWs, the extreme BBWs, the kind of middle BBWs, and then even opposite of that, like the real flaquitas. That I've seen it all. I've seen it
I
all. My
bet.
husband's been with me to a conference once in New Jersey. Um, and I was working the conference through Pineapple Support. I represent them at the Exotica conferences. It was an Exotica conference last year in Jersey, and my husband went with me. It was his first industry event
Oh,
going.
he's probably like, "Who the fuck is this?"
He was definitely surprised, but he really saw. He was like, "Okay, this is what you do." He goes, "I thought that you went and you were having like all this fun. No, andas en chingas. You're running around. You're making sure people are at their booths. You're making sure things are good. You're making sure that if another person. So when I go to those expos, I'm a therapist that's there, or I'm a coach that's there. So if
Oh,
there's other people, other vendors that are there at their booths feeling, overwhelmed because those are super overwhelming fan based events and they need a space to talk, or they have a breakdown, or they have an anxiety attack, security calls me and they say, "Hey, Dr. Monique, we need you at booth, whatever." And then there's a space where I can take them to the back and, we spend 30 minutes, if we can, up to an hour, but typically about 30 minutes, kind of de escalate them, help them ground, remind them what they're there for, and remind them that that is just their persona. They can take that off when they go back to their hotel room.
wow. That's first of all, that's amazing that you have the opportunity to help people on
Yeah,
site on the
yeah,
expo. I only
definitely.
been in one expo, in Miami. I think so.
Expos?
No, the other
No,
Sex Expo. Probably the same.
maybe
Probably because
Exotica.
yes,
I'll be in
yeah.
I'll be in Miami in June for the Exotica one.
Really?
Yeah,
I might go say,
yeah,
"Hey, girl, what's up, dog?"
yeah,
We can
yeah.
probably do a in person
Yeah,
podcast.
definitely.
Fuck shit,
Yeah,
I'll take it. That would be awesome.
yeah,
That would be awesome because this is so eye opening for me, and probably the people who will listen to this episode and watch it, they'll be like, "Oh, this I didn't know this." I think to me you need to be more open about these subject and topics because that's the only way to fix it. And it's impressive what you do, going to an expo and you be like the 911 emergency service basically
yeah,
because
yeah. The
that's
mental
who you
health
are.
version of it. Yeah,
That's yeah. I get a
yeah.
T-shirt and they get a little light sirens and I'm going there, and people will crossing you in the traffic because that will happen to me all the time.
Yeah, yeah. It definitely does.
So you intervene on that acute, in what is that, anxiety or attack of.
It can be anxiety attack. It can just be like social anxiety. There's, thousands of people there. And again, a lot of the talent that goes, even the talent that goes to like, so for the company that I do it for the Exotica, um, they sign up for 2-hour shifts, talent does. So they bring their stuff, their merchandise, and they sign, they take pictures. For 2 hours, they have to be on. There is no break for them. That's usually where they have me, and I'll be like, I'll go get them water if they're hungry. Are you hungry? Hey, do you want me to cover your stuff so you can go
Oh,
take a break for 5 minutes, so you can go run to the bathroom?
that's pretty cool.
Something like that. And it's a lot to be completely present and engage with people for 2 hours,
Yes,
if not
especially.
more. A lot of the talent signs up, and they volunteer their time, so we don't pay them to be there. They volunteer their
Oh,
time to go there, kind of like in kind advertisement and stuff.
really? I
Um,
thought they get paid for being there. No volunteer.
yeah, so with Pineapple Support, they don't get paid for that, but they also provide. They let them know like Pineapple Support provides mental health support for online sex workers. Do you want to donate? Things like that. Um, and then yeah, but typically they're volunteering.
Wow, that's pretty cool. I mean, volunteer in this country is kind of hard to find. You know that.
Yeah,
Yeah, I could
yeah,
say everything have to be money, but yeah, that's pretty cool. I'm glad that somebody's actually helping them going through that because, like I said, I can't even imagine being different persona for 2 hours straight, especially half naked. But let's start from there.
yeah,
And people
yeah.
just literally look at you as an object sometimes,
Right. Yeah, yeah.
as
I
a
would
piece
say
of meat
most of the time. Yeah,
most of the time.
yeah,
Yeah, and then you have to go back home, see your family, husband or wife or whatever you're into, and if you got kids, so it
yeah.
is
The
not
majority
easy.
of them do have kids. They have families. They've been in committed relationships with one another. And yes, while some of their job requires them to have sex with somebody else, that's a job.
That's a
No
job. Yeah.
different than any other job.
Yeah, like I was wondering if you like a sex content creator and you have, sex with somebody else and you have a husband or wife, how the husband and wife deal with that? Do you have also that? Like you bring the couples too? Because that will be hard.
Yeah. Yeah, I do have a lot of not anymore, not actively, but I have in the past had um couples who were either one or both of them were content creators. So if they're both, I think it's a little bit easier because they have a better understanding of what each other's role is. If one of them is, a performer and the other one is not, I think depending on how they met and how long they've been together, there's different challenges that come with that. I'm actually this week through Pineapple Support, I'm doing a support group for family members, so adult family members who have a partner that are in the industry. So how to better kind of navigate those things and
Yeah.
what are the challenges that might come up and how again communication as with any relationship that they
Yeah.
have, whether it's
Yeah.
intimate or not, whether it's sex work or not, is so important. And then how to communicate like fairly and what all that looks like.
Yeah. It is like a normal, like you said, like a normal session for normal people with normal jobs. I mean, vanilla jobs, like you said, which is, I
Yeah.
like that. I like that actually.
Yeah.
But you extra spicy with the adult content, which is people can confuse that with something else, and
Yeah.
it's not for everybody. That's what I learned talking to people in that field.
Yeah.
Is that I talked to tantric coaches and sex coaches too from Miami or from Florida area, and it's hard to like manage that, and it's a lot of energy that takes away from you, even if you're a
Yeah.
coach. So yeah,
Yeah,
I'm glad that
definitely.
people like you doing this type of job because it's not for everybody. It's not easy.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, nothing is ever easy. Nothing is
No,
ever easy, and we just
yeah, I
find a
know.
passion in it. And like my passion is being able to see someone like actively change when they're on the other side of the couch, when they're on the other side of my screen, and I
That's
can
awesome.
see how hurt they were or how frustrated or how angry they were in the first couple sessions, and then like 3, 4, 5, 6 sessions later I can see them smiling. They look lighter. They're not like this clenched.
It's
I can
awesome.
see the physical aspects of them being relaxed, their jaws not tense while we're talking. They can, move their neck and drop their shoulders and take a fucking breath and know that the person in front of them is not gonna fucking judge them, is not gonna ask them some fucking stupid, weird ass question.
I know.
It's just gonna listen.
Yeah. And it's true though. It is so true what you said. What would be an advice you would give to a brand new person that said, you know what, I want to get into the adult industry, regardless what type of, section of the adult industry, because it's a lot, obviously. What do you recommend to that person? A brand new girl or boy, say, you know what, fuck it. I need to make some money, and I think I can do this. I got the body, I got the attitude. Let's do this.
Honestly, I don't know much about the business part. I would
Yeah,
probably
yeah,
say there's a mentor though. There's lots of mentors in every, not in every niche, but in a lot of like the different components of sex work, depending. So first, identify maybe what it is you want to do. Is it like solo content? Is it same sex content? Is it boy girl content? Is it a specific niche from there? Do you want to do it like in person or online, or you want an agent? Like, figure out what those things are, and then maybe find some reputable people. I think there's lots of predatory people, or lots of
yeah.
people that are just looking to get off or take advantage of someone. And so be careful, find people, with not so much a large following, but people that you can search and they have good things, they have good feed. And then go from there.
Go
But
from there.
I don't, there's lots of mentors. I'm familiar with a handful of mentors for different types
Okay.
of things. But I think you can probably, if you're interested in that, in the adult industry, you're probably more familiar than I am with who you want to be like, and I want to get on their level, and then you can figure out, okay, maybe what steps did they take.
Okay. Yeah, because it's not easy. Like,
Yeah.
that job is not easy at all. And for somebody who's been in this on the field for a long time, what advice, mental health wise, you will give him to keep going, or what would be your intake? I don't know, little advice, piece of nugget, like we say in the fire service, chicken nugget.
That's a good nugget. I guess the biggest thing is just believe in yourself. Like confidence is key, even on those days when we feel like shit and we don't want to get up out of bed. Like doing a simple thing like getting up and washing your face, or getting up and brushing your teeth, even. You can do that and know that you killed it that day. Like, you fucking rocked it. Even if that's the only thing you did that day, be confident that you did it well and that was it.
Awesome.
Because
Yeah,
those things matter. It's the little steps. It's the little steps that matter.
the little things. Awesome. If somebody wants to help out with the pineapple organization,
Yeah,
pineapple
pineapple support. Yeah.
support, how do they contact that? How do they, hey, I want to be a volunteer? How do they do that?
They could go to pineapplesupport.org. There's different ways to contribute. They can contribute by way of donation. If they're like a mental health provider, or are interested in doing coaching, there's an application there. They accept both in the United States and all across the nation, and in any language.
Okay.
Yeah, so you can just go look on there.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And the cool thing, you speak Spanish too. You're Mexican descendant, so you got options, girl. You got a lot of people that you can actually help. It's a broad
Yeah.
scan. So from that, which country, I don't know, or population in Spanish reach you the most, or do you have the most clients from in Spanish people?
Yeah,
La
I would
raza.
say, yeah, mostly from South America.
Okay.
Yeah. And so, like, for the most part, our Spanish is very similar. There's some words that like they'll say something virtually, and I'm just like,
Yeah.
I don't know what that means, and then they'll explain it. I'm like, oh, okay, all right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then a lot of the South American population that I've worked with, they they work in like camping houses, um, and so that's where I interacted with them mostly. Was they're part of like a camp house. I don't know if you know what that is. But they're typically like big warehouse type places, kind of like the Big Brother thing, but porn wise or content creation wise. And they're on camera almost all the time, except for when they're in therapy or when they're doing a few selected personal things.
Oh, wow, I didn't. I knew the concept of the
Yeah.
house. But I didn't know it was a warehouse with different. Like, I'm imagining cubicles, and they just streaming all day long, or like a
No,
room.
no cubicles. It's just like open.
Oh, wow, and then
Yeah.
just 24/7, kind practically. That's gonna be just gonna be tough all day in
Yeah.
camera. Yeah, that's why they got you, girl.
Yeah. They have me and people like me, so that's
Exactly.
good.
No,
Yeah.
exactly. And I'm glad that I was able to find you online and
Yeah. Likewise.
spread the word. And this hopefully might go to somebody, at least one person who listened to this. Say, you know what? Fuck it. Let me talk to her really quick to see what can I help me with. Or maybe, maybe find some help. But that's the goal to me.
Yeah. Thank
It
you.
helps somebody. At least one person. Uno solo nada más.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I might have to go to Las Vegas at some point. Well, I went to Las Vegas, been in there, but wasn't for fun. It wasn't for a class in
Oh, okay.
military base. But I went one day
Okay.
to Las Vegas, which was impressive. But next time I'm around there, I will definitely contact you. Hey, girl, I'm here. Let's see if we can at least meet, or we can meet in Miami. That would be awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll be in Miami. What is it? I think it's the last weekend of June. So, like the
Yeah.
27th through the 29th, I'll be in Miami for the Exotica. And then here in Vegas, we're hosting the National Exotic Dancer Expo, which
Wow.
my business is representing mental health there from August 24th through August 27th at the Flamingo. So maybe you can come down to
Man,
that.
that's my birthday. The August 24.
Oh, okay.
That will be an
All right.
interesting birthday if I go there.
Yeah, and that's an event I'm excited about. I've been representing mental health through the National Exotic Dancer Expo for the this will be my third year.
Awesome.
So I provide dancers only um like not classes, workshops,
Yeah, yeah.
a couple times a day.
That's
And
awesome.
then mental health tidbits, and then I have this year I'll be having a table. And actually, one of my really good dancer friends, she goes by Cece, from Tucson, Arizona. She'll be coming down,
Yeah,
so I'm really
representing.
excited for that. Yeah, yes,
That
yes.
is awesome.
So
That's
she'll be
awesome.
coming
Yeah,
down.
that's awesome. And yeah, almost an hour. See, this is fly like water. It's just flow like water. And yes, if I go to Las Vegas, I need to eat a real taco because the Tijuana flat is bullshit. But the real taco from Mexico, like, oh my god, that's what I miss from that side of the country. Is the real Mexican food. Oh god, I miss that shit. But anyway, what advice you will give to somebody, to take care of their mental health? Last question will be, who you think will be interested in talking to me in the podcast, whoever you know in your network who come here and talk a little bit about the experience. Could be a content creator, could be another doctor or a coach or somebody from the pineapple place. What do
Okay,
you think?
pineapple sport. Okay. I don't know. I don't know. I have to think about it, but I can connect you guys when I figure it out. Probably, I would say more than a couple people came to mind.
Yeah,
Um,
I would love it. Awesome. Yeah. So with that, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Your time, your effort. I know sometimes you guys tight schedule, but this is awesome. Again, if people want to contact you, follow you, or even through you get into another networking, how do they find you online?
uh, the best bet is to do the Instagram, so it's Key Rose LLC, and then on X, so formerly Twitter, it's Key Rose LLC one. Um, and then there's a Facebook too, and I think it's just Key Rose. Yeah,
Everything's Keyros, no matter what.
everything's Key Rose. Yeah, I've kind of
Everything's
tried to
Keyros.
make it as uniform as possible.
Perfect. So people don't get confused. And I'll put anyway on the description of the podcast. And yeah, with that, thank you so much. If you got any last words, any questions, I'm more than happy to give you the space to you. But if not, thank you for being here. Those who follow the podcast, thank you guys and girls and whatever listen to this. This has been an amazing and really interesting talk to you because, curious about it and how mental health actually helps adult industry, which is to me is new. I never expect that. I never thought about it. To be honest, so used to the freaking military and firefighters and police that those people need help too. Fuck it.
Yeah, definitely. I guess the only thing I want to leave everyone with is it's okay to take time for yourself and it's okay to reach out for help. It doesn't make you weaker. If anything, it makes you more of a badass because you're able to realize, like, fuck, I can't do this by myself. Everyone needs a little bit of help every now and then, and don't take shame in that.
That's true. That's true. And that's true. Good advice. Thank you so much. And with this, we finish the podcast. Thank you for the guys who listen to us. Like, subscribe, share all those shit that you see everywhere in any podcast. And hopefully people enjoy this. And with that, thank you so much and peace. Be safe. Bye.